the bounty hunters. So y'all got the Imperial Army on the governess and they're on their way? Susie Lou asked after she got over her initial rush. It had taken about a minute for her to calm down, but she had then wiped off her face, regained her dignity, and started asking all sorts of questions. We're basically just here to stop things from getting worse. And now the woman has shown herself to be trying to make herself queen of the slug people for some reason. Oh, that? I know what she wants out of them. She was proud of it. Are you going to leave us in suspense? Scaly asks. There are a few ways to really lock your name in as someone that is integral to the Empire. Those that found new colonies, those that win incredible martial victories, and finally, those that bring an entirely new people into the Empire. And bringing in a previously unknown species? Pukey asked. If she had the time to train them and get them loyal to the Empire on first contact, she'd get to start her own royal house. Then she could push bigger and bigger, Susie Lou says. I see. So it was a long-term power grab. And speaking of grabbing, I wanted to make my own business my way, in the way of my home and people, and not because some robe-wearing twerp thought her credits were better than everyone else's. Even if she's got more, it's just credits. Ah, an artist, Pukey notes. Got a problem with that? Susie Lou asks. Not at all. Nothing wrong with taking pride in your work, Pukey answers, before a pale green light starts slowly growing stronger around a corner. Slugs are here. I'm real glad I've been putting safeties on my guns, for sure, Susie Lou notes as a revolver is pointed at them. But there's a block stopping the hammer from hitting the firing pin and showing a small bit of metal sticking out the right side of the gun with an X on it. Very well done. So do we have to watch out for your symbol when staring down the barrel? Tang asks. Yup. Susie Lou notes in amusement as Tang then plucks the gun out of the grip of the incredulous slug woman and then walks back to hand it to her. Thank you kindly. I ain't no scratch on my sister, but I've earned more than a few meals hunting. She then checks the weapon and sighs. Ah, dust it. There ain't even one bullet left. Gun's empty. Here, does this round fit? Tang offers, handing her a bullet that she takes from him incredulously and slots it in. It's a little looser than what she's make, but otherwise a perfect fit. The muzzle flash is going to be something else, though. Why in the hell are y'all spacemen walking around with proper bullets for my revolver? You got very close to a very common bullet size that we use. All of us have ammo to spare for you. Ain't just your voices that are plenty sweet. The words y'all use are downright poetry. Aljing Kran, Krani Gulga Halmara. There's that word again, Pukey notes. Gulga Halmara? That's what they call me. Goddess knows what it means. They don't like sticking around much when I'm forging. And the deal was, I get food so long as I work the forge. They gave me this whole space-age setup, but it was just the same heat totems and more, just with a lot of wasted chrome y'all could put on a tool. So I did. Right pissed off Governess Bumbleshell, Susie Lou says, and Gulga Halmara. And there's the question on what to do with her. Pukey notes. The slug woman hasn't made any hostile moves, but she's clearly in a panic. She wants the gun back, but doesn't want to approach them. She keeps trying to say something to you, Susie Lou. I got no clue what she's going on about, I'm afraid. I ain't been given nothing in the way for a primer. All I know is that they seem kind of scared of me, and they call me Gulga Halmara. They called me Ulga Halmara, but only when I pulled out my plasma sword. The big shiny thing, maybe Halmara means bright or something. When a forge gets going, there's plenty of light. Susie Lou muses. Still, are we all gonna just jaw about? Or are we going after Sally? We are. The only question is, are you joining us or are we getting you towards safety so you can get the hell out of here while we well-trained warriors take things on? Well-trained, are you? Is that why y'all got an eye that weren't there when y'all were born? Or an arm for that rate? She asked before turning to Scaly. Not to mention, I think this one's just a runt. But I've been told that y'all space types can grow younger if y'all want to. He's also got all sorts of fun toys and weapons on him, and I traded up for a very powerful eye. Sure you did. Look handsome. I'm not saying I ain't grateful. But if y'all think you're going to go help my sister without me, then y'all must have lost some brains with that eye, Susie Lou says, and he shrugs. All right, look into this and state that I swear until the mission has ended that I am agreeing to be under the command of Captain Gregory Schmidt. Pukey tells her, pulling out his communicator, and has it record her repeat the quick oath. Fantastic. Welcome to the team. Let's go. What? Just like that? You're at least a little known to the locals, which means you're the closest we got for a translator and, Pukey begins to say before his communicator starts going off. Excuse me, this is Pukey. Do not bring these people into sunlight, Cindy all but screams at him. They are extremely photosensitive. A burn time lasting in seconds, the infant had only a moment's contact and is already injured. Do not expose these things to light. What kind of light? I held up my plasma sword, and while they flinched back, none of them started cooking from across the room. I don't know, and I don't think they do either, but it's something put out by yellow stars. This isn't something we're going to figure out today either, as the only test subject I have is a sunburnt baby. Relax, this is good to know. Is the baby all right? The baby's going to fine. Onyx ducked back into the shadows the nanosecond the child started to burn. The damage looks bad, but from what I can tell is minimal. Still, seeing her turn deep brown in the light is disturbing. Pale white to deep brown? Anyways, we've saved Sally's sister, but now we need Sally, the hat, and the governess back. So we're poking through tunnels and leaving a trail of signal boosters as we go. Tell Letha to let us know if the hat crosses into range of the boosters. About the child? Yes, Pukey asks. What are we doing with it? Well, right now, I'd like you to make sure the little one is healthy and happy. After we sort the immediate mess, we'll make a choice. But try not to get attached. This is a new species, and we have no idea what they eat or drink or what their developmental stages are like. This is completely unknown territory here, Jon Guice says. Right, sorry, it's just, I know, a mother to be around a baby is borderline asking for a kidnapping to happen under ideal circumstances. Just relax, it's going to be fine, he assures her. His eyes flicker up as the ambient light starts growing again, this time in pink rather than pale green. I gotta go, it seems like we're about to have a lot more company than just one babbling, confused, and frightened local. Pink light? Bongani asks as they notice the strange color coming from a hole in the ceiling above. There's some murmuring from Adili, and he pulls the bandana partway off. And this is? Something that will hopefully kill you. She snarls at him, and he puts the gag back. Hostile, then. Or potentially. On your guard, Bongani orders. Potentially? Sally asks. She's a liar. If she tells you the sun is warm, don't trust it, Bongani says, and Sally snorts. Right, fair point. Plenty of ways to lie, even with the truth. Exactly. Pink light means something. Our liar says hostile, but she didn't say it meant nothing. So it's probably something, Bongani says, and there's an offended mumble from Adili. So do we keep going, or wait and see? I'd rather not have something potentially following us. We wait for a few moments. Bongani says as the pink light slowly grows brighter and brighter until... Halmara! A slug woman glowing pink exclaims before falling out of the shaft and scooting away as hard as she can, the whole time chanting, Halmara, as she abandons her heavy-looking axe and disappears down another tunnel. Well, ain't you popular, Sally says with a big smile directed right at the hat. Oh yeah, guest of honor here, Bongani notes before stepping up a bit and sheathing his pistol, then reaching down and picking up the axe. Huh. Stone? What do you think? Flint? Basalt, I think. But why the heck is one of these girls using stone tools when they've got metal already? I get that high-grade metal needs my sister, but surely bronze or copper would be better. Though the handle looks like a root of something, Sally muses. Another mystery. Maybe this one was a one-off, or maybe part of a larger picture. But whatever it is, Halmara scares them downright senseless. And I think Halmara is me. It's a right weird word, I'll give you that. I've heard names, curses, and warnings all shouted like that. But what's it mean? I think that when that question is fully answered, a lot more answers will fall into place. But I think we should keep moving. Operate the spiral, we'll run into something friendly sooner or later. Bongani says, taking the lead again, and Adili openly snorts at that. Well, since she's been lying the whole time, I'll take that as a yes. Sally chirps, if only to annoy Adili, which actually works. As they start to move, they find more and more tunnels with Sally marking them all. Through numerous ones are different slug women staring out at them. Whispers of Halmara, following them as they pass. Then in the distance there's a burst of noise. A fast conversation with numerous invectives that uses Halmara in multiple places. Followed by the sound of something wooden being smashed and then a thump. "Our Algin Galiak!" rings out, and at the unfamiliar word, the hat and Sally spare a glance. There is a snuffling sound, and the sound of something scraping the earth. And then the hat and Sally both jump back to avoid a massive pair of claws bursting out of the floor, followed by a huge nose with feelers branching off from it in all directions. Several pistol shots go right down the nostrils before Bongani pulls out his plasma pistol and chases them in with a burst of white-hot fire. The giant star-nosed mole freezes as its brain fries and slumps back down the tunnel it dug at them. "Attack, moles." "All right, then," Bongani notes. "Algin Halmara Olga Halmaratas," one of the natives screams in absolute terror, and the locals clear away so thoroughly that Bongani and Sally are plunged into absolute darkness. "What?" Sally asks before Bongani turns on a flashlight and clips it into his jacket. "I have no idea beyond they just sicked a giant mole on us and panicked badly when we killed it," he says. "By why do they keep saying Halmara?" Sally demands. "That's what I want to know." "So, hostile tribe?" Pukey asks the group as Itchy effortlessly wrestles the flint spear away from the pink slug woman. The pale green one had taken to hiding behind Susie Lou at the sight of the new one, which was just making things more confusing. She did mention the locals needing the weapons. "I don't make things so whole messes of weapons so dang fools can slaughter each other. I make works of art that can save people's lives." Well, we don't have the full picture yet, but we might get one. Pukey considers before shrugging and turning to the slug hiding behind Susie Lou. He waves his hand to make sure he has the woman's complete attention and then points to her. Then to him, then mimes talking with his hand. "Is there someone who can talk to us?" The slug woman tilts her head. "Do you?" He points at her. "No." He indicates his head and hers. "Anyone." He indicates everyone. "Who can talk to us?" He asks, miming the mouth movements again, and he can already see he lost her. "Maybe something else?" "One side, bossman. Let me have a whack at it," Airfarce says, nudging Pukey in the side and crouching down in front of the woman. He then holds his hands out in front of him and channels Axiom. Soon a small series of glowing balls of light show up, and before he can mold them into his little puppet show, the woman dives behind Susie Lou with a cry of Halmara. Does Halmara mean light? They burn in the sun? Halmara means dangerous light. Pukey suddenly realizes, incorrectly but not completely,